Hello and welcome to Talk of the Traitors.
We're here in our snakeskin slingbacks. I'm Benedict Townsend.
What a fantastic callback.
Thank you.
We are on...
Who are you?
Oh, sorry. I'm Hannah Townsend and
Thank
we
you.
are on episode 7 of The Traitors. We're just over halfway.
Yes, this is our mini-series about the UK series The Traitors. If you made it this far, you probably know what the series is. I will say, has there been any filler episodes in this series? It's all been really good.
It's all been particularly strong.
One of the big things I said before this series started is that I wanted them to mess with the formula. I think this was one of the most off-formula episodes they've ever done.
This episode of The Traitors, we saw a live traitor reveal. Now, you and I, we have watched the US Traitors, the Australian Traitors. We've dipped our toes in the New Zealand Traitors.
Yep.
We've never seen a live traitor reveal.
No, a traitor has never openly murdered face-to-face.
No, I don't think so.
They've done the sneaky cup thing or whatever, but they've never looked someone in the eye and said, by the order of the traitors, you murdered.
And what a killing it was. Linda clapping back with the get over it. It turned a little bit sour. I wouldn't have been surprised if maybe there'd been a bit more back and forth that they cut.
Yeah.
Although the producers love the goss, don't they? They
do.
love the drama.
What I love is that they revealed themselves. Fozia immediately was like, I knew you were a traitor, Linda. No comment about Mina. Because obviously Mina has been flying under the radar. But immediately was like, of course it's you, Linda. And I think Linda got a bit prickly because she was like, no, I'm not that obvious.
Also, I'd say that's the sharpest we've seen Fozia with the pack your bags. I mean, I get it. She was annoyed.
Yes. Can we just say RIP to a real one? We've lost an amazing player in Fozia. I really, no offense to Leon, but I really wanted Fozia to make it to the end. I thought she was so strong.
I really think we need to talk about how in that challenge, when they were trying to rescue the people, they were saying so loudly, I really hope it's Leon.
Yeah.
The casket wasn't made of iron. No. It wasn't a soundproof room. It wasn't some sort of recording studio. Poor Alexander would have been able to hear them going. They were disappointment in all of their faces that he wasn't Leon as well. I mean, I felt bad for him.
The entire time they were pulling Alexander from the middle of that lake, they just kept going, I hope it's Leon. I mean, I guess in hindsight, they'd edited it to emphasize that they wanted to find Leon.
Yes.
Because ultimately Leon was the one they found. But still, yeah, you're right. Alexander's in that plywood coffin, which, by the way, that sucks. Especially if you needed a wee. That's always my first thought. What if you need a wee and you're in a coffin in the middle of a lake?
I'm going to say the common sense of thinking that the person would be physically buried versus in one of those where you would just flip over a lid.
Yes.
I understand Roman numerals, we didn't grow up using them. So I understand it's not your everyday thing. But my first thought would be it's going to be in one of those above land.
Yes. When they actually started digging, and I was
Surely not.
I was like, they've buried Fozia? Can you imagine if they've actually buried these people? And I was thinking, they must have got it wrong. They're obviously not going to... That's a health and safety nightmare. And then it was like, oh no, actually it's this one where it's this raised coffin, obviously, where you just jiggle the lid a little bit.
You just flip the lid open.
Do you think Leon was in the coffin just thinking, these idiots, they're over there digging with their hands?
Literally. Can you imagine if it had been Fozia buried below ground and all she could hear was just like, I really hope it's Leon. And she's like, I'm 6 feet under the ground. All right, for a telly show. Let's at least be happy that just someone is coming out.
It's crazy.
Through the muffle. I really hope it's Leon.
There was a really funny bit where they were like, Freddie just seems like he's got a weight off his shoulders. And then they cut to him doing a cartwheel down the hallway. It's an amazing bit of editing. That's so
funny. Literally so funny.
But it's like the weight's off his shoulders. The weight was called Livy.
Yeah.
She was on his shoulders going, you're a traitor.
As God is my witness, I will say Lisa from The Traitors grinding my gears this episode. All right?
May the Lord bless her and keep her.
Right?
But she's not very good at this game.
She said herself in that round table that she's not very good at the game. At one point she was saying if there's 4 traitors, I mean, there's about 9 people left. Of course there's not 4 traitors. No. She was just so off the mark, and she was also...
What she said was, there's 12 of us left. That means if there's 4 traitors... everyone next to you is a traitor. When have there ever been 4 traitors? Also, how unfair would it be in 12 people for 4 of them to be traitors? It'd be a massacre.
But also, they'd more likely be getting people out. If there was 4 of them, we spoke about statistics last time where you said it is actually quite hard to get a traitor out, given that the numbers skew so much in the faithfuls column. Come on, Lisa.
But even common sense, right? Let's say you don't know, but let's say at the beginning of the game there were 2, maybe 3 traitors. They've got one of them out. You know that they failed to recruit. How is there going to be 4? Where are these coming from? I introduced on the podcast the Merrill Award for the player who has no idea what's going on. I've been giving it to Frankie. I'm changing it to Lisa. Something that always amuses me on this show is that every player, and I'm sure I do the same thing, but every player thinks so much of themselves. They're always like, why am I still alive? It must be because I'm such a good player. Someone's looking out for me. And like, no one ever considers like, maybe you're still alive. One, because you're so clueless that it's actually useful. Or two, because they kind of forget you're here.
Yeah.
Everyone's always like, I ask myself, how am I still here? And it's like, maybe because you're like, not one of the main characters in this at the moment. Like,
yeah, or you're either really good mates with a traitor or not good mates at all. So it just is like less suspicious. Like if they killed you, you know?
Lisa literally goes, how am I still here? I'm not very good at this game. And it's like, well, there's your answer. They're keeping you around because you're not very good at catching traitors. I mean, it's like...
Our favourite traitor, Mina, left a comment on one of our videos. And I'm like, is it a clue?
This is an exclusive.
This is an exclusive. And it's from her actual account. It says... We are here for a good time, not a long time, is how I live my life.
What does that mean? The video wasn't even necessarily about Mina getting voted out or anything.
It wasn't. We were saying she was a fantastic traitor and we hope she goes all the way. It's a very strange comment. We absolutely love Mina, but tonight was the first night we saw a lot of heat on Mina.
Yeah.
Kind of out of nowhere.
I guess it was going to happen eventually. Once
of course.
the numbers whittle down enough, you're going to turn around and go, hey, there's one person we've never accused. I will say, she's still not too much under the microscope.
No.
But that comment from her to us, again, Talk of the Townsends exclusive, good time, not a long time.
Good time, not a long time says, I'm not in the final.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing my little beans in the bag of the fire. You won't be seeing me there. That's what that meant to me.
Well, because the thing is, Fake Welsh, we can talk about it, has now been offered the choice of be a traitor or die. Yeah. It's not really a choice,
it's not
is it?
Really a
You'd have to be
choice.
really faithful to be like, kill me now.
Exactly.
So is Fake Welsh gonna, well, we know she's capable of incredible betrayal, such as pretending to be Welsh.
Exactly.
She even said that at one point in the episode today. She was
All
like,
I'm doing is pretending to be Welsh.
It's like, that's true. I really thought she was going to recruit Jake. I thought it would have been a great recruit. I think Welsh is an interesting choice.
I think Welsh is an interesting choice. If she recruits Fake Welsh, we might be looking at a no male traitor season.
Yeah, which is the ultimate revenge to Claudia's olden times comment.
Yeah, it's like the olden times.
Yeah.
I thought Jake was going to be the obvious recruit.
Yeah, Jake was the obvious recruit, like especially now he's the traitor hunter or whatever.
Although his reaction was incredibly loud, you might be thinking, is he a bit of a loose cannon?
I guess.
It was a lot.
Also, can I say, when Linda stood up, before she made the reveal, I literally said to you, none of them are allowed to celebrate this. She's been an obvious traitor since literally day one.
Day one.
When Jake called it on day one.
Yeah.
You don't get to celebrate 7 episodes in when you catch the most obvious traitor in the world. I mean, it's like...
R.I.P. Linda, fantastic telly.
Great telly. Not the best traitor, although she did last.
She did last. Like, you got to hand it to her. There was a comment about Linda on one of our posts that says Linda was the traitor that they put in there to kind of be terrible and get voted out. She was like a lamb to slaughter, right? She was supposed to be good TV but get voted out straight away.
Yeah.
Then Armani took that place and then just somehow Linda just survived.
Yeah. It makes no sense. I mean, well, it was only through the power of Queen Mina, really, that she survived last time. The smartest thing Linda did in this game was commit to the sisterhood.
Yes,
with
she
Mina.
did.
And fair play to Mina all the way to the end. Yes, she snaked her, but she snaked her honourably with permission.
And I liked that they had that little conversation and she gave her blessing to say, look, if I'm going down, vote me out.
Yeah.
And that's the best way of doing it, because then we didn't see a parting gift, how we've seen in previous episodes, when one traitor votes for the other and they kind of, make a comment, make a look that shows the rest of the team, oh, okay, well, they were working together or something more was happening there. I think that was really nice to see.
I think Mina, despite what Mina herself has said in our comments, I think Mina seems safe in the short term. The heat's on Leanne. The problem is the heat changes night to night.
Yeah.
Tonight they're all on Leanne. Tomorrow they'll all be on... But people talk about Alex. What on earth has Alex done to arouse suspicion? I suppose apart from just not arouse suspicion. It's so funny. There's always a point late in the season where they go, maybe we need to start looking for the people who are under the radar. And it's like, no way. What, you mean like every other season of The Traitor? You're telling me it's not the loudest people ever? That's crazy.
Did you feel Alexander was being patronising to Leanne in the way he questioned her?
A little bit. But I do think his point was valid.
I agree. I think his point was valid that, like, do you think it's more reasonable to think that the traitors wouldn't have recruited and they would have murdered you? Like, that logic did make sense. Yeah, I don't want to stand up for him too much, but I'm not sure if he understood how that came across. And I wonder if when he was watching that back, he'd be like, shit.
Yeah, it came across a little patronising, but also I think his point is valid, because if you think it through, it's like the traitors knew there were 2 shields in there and just did a random murder anyway.
Yeah.
And then out of sheer coincidence, managed to hit one of the people with the shields. Like, none of it seems very likely. Also, he's kind of saying, and I think sometimes players say this and it gets edited out, but he's basically saying, like, we've all seen previous seasons of The Traitors, and we all know from previous seasons that usually when this happens, it means there's a recruitment.
Yes.
I think sometimes the players say stuff like this and they edit it out because they don't want them to, like, say that stuff.
Well, 100%. We saw that with the drink challenge tonight, where everyone was like, it was like, no one wanted to say poison chalice, but everyone was basically saying poison chalice, but going around the subject. But that is annoying, because it's like they probably won't do that again.
Exactly.
But they don't know that, and people have nothing to go on, and blah, 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 blah. But I think he handled it well with his apology.
I think he went too far. I don't think he meant to be smarmy, but I think he recognised, well, maybe I've been a little bit... I think it's one of those things where he's a very intelligent guy. For him, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
To be fair, she went, if anyone's got any comments, make them. And he went, I've got a comment. And she went, oh. And
she went, no.
And he literally went, you asked for comments.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, like, I know you're getting heated because the heat's on you, but like...
You did ask.
You literally are.
Yeah, you asked.
I will say, look, one of the criticisms that's leveled against the show in general is that the faithfuls just don't have anything to go on. And I think once again, with the little writing the names on the picture challenge, like, they're never going to find that picture. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
they were having a conversation next to it and they didn't clock it, you know?
It's another challenge where, like, there's no real way for them to crack that.
No.
So, that's a work in progress for this show, I think, is giving the faithfuls any kind of actual clues.
Yes.
Because they're always just stabbing in the dark.
Yeah.
Apart from Linda, who gave herself away week 1.
Yes.
And they very bravely got her out week 7. Sorry, day 7.
Day 7. I will say this episode, we didn't see one person say Mina is 100% faithful. She doesn't seem to have anyone batting for her the same way Leanne is batting for Leon, and she's like, I'm going to look so stupid if he is not a faithful. And my worry with the comments saying, oh, I'm here, not for a long time, is that, like, if no one is 100% on Mina, are we going to see, if you're not 100%, then...
Well, I think Leanne, even when her name came up, Leanne was like,
could be
Mina. Leanne was sort of matey with her, but she doesn't have a tribe. She doesn't have a crew behind her.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of close friendships left. But Alexander now, he's really alone because he was a newbie.
Yes.
He hasn't had any real chance to prove himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he might just be on the chopping block just because he's like the new kid in school.
I want to see more of him. I like him.
I think they should recognise that he would be a really good faithful. But the problem is the smart people, they always just, they accuse them of being, dare I say it, Dr. Harold Shipman.
So fun fact is that I actually auditioned to be on The Traitor. I sent in an audition tape. We've spoken about this a little bit before. I have found said tape, okay? Mm-hmm. Reveal the tapes. And we are going to do a bonus episode that is going to be coming out this weekend. We're going to talk through, we're going to guess what I say in the tape, because I've not watched it in nearly a year. So
and I've never seen it.
And you've never seen it. So we're going to guess what I said. We'll do a Hannah bingo that's like why I would be good because I'm great at reading people.
Yeah.
Or whatever I say. I honestly have no clue. So look out for that coming in your feeds. And we will be back with you tomorrow with another pod.
Yes, with another pod. And we said it last episode, but the audio got messed up. But, we've been doing quite well on the podcast charts and stuff. And the support this podcast has been getting on the clips and in the episodes has been so lovely.
It's so
thank
crazy.
You so much for all the support. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, honestly, thank you so much. We absolutely love doing this. There's very little that we would stay up so late on a school night for.
Yes.
But we love doing this. We love you guys are sending me stuff in the DMs, memes, theories, and I just absolutely love it. So have a good one. Have a good day.
Someone DM'd me a drawing of pregnant Sonic the Hedgehog.
Right.
Loved that. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.